Will Trump win next year? And if he wins, could he change the course of some of this? And lastly, would you ever work for him again?
First of all, I'm sure he wants to run. That's not the issue. Will he be able to? I think there's enormous effort invested in convicting him as a felon. If you're a convicted felon, you cannot run for office. And I think that's where the left is working. Remember, the Justice Department is weaponized against us, and it's being used against him. They're very particular about whom they prosecute, and he's at the top of their list for things that I think in most cases would be ignored, or the cost of doing business, but that's another story. Again, I'm wondering if we get to that election before things really begin to fall apart. And what do you do if you discover that out of your electorate of, say, 150, 160 million, that more than half of that electorate doesn't think the system works? You know, everything is a function of confidence. People say, well, when do you think the financial system will collapse? Well, when people lose confidence. What happens with banks when people lose confidence? You get bank runs. What happens when people around the world lose confidence in our economic strength and the viability of our financial system? Well, they dump treasuries. What happens when you get fire sales on U.S. treasuries? Armageddon. So these are things that no one can predict, and I can't predict when Americans finally say enough is enough and we won't go any further with this. But I just don't know if we'll get that far. If we do, again, the problems, I grew up in a city, North Philadelphia, where there hasn't been a free, fair election in 50, 60 years. And I won't go over the history. That's a problem in all the large cities. So you just write them off. The only way that you could run a free and fair election would be to declare martial law. And then you'd have to confirm the validity of people's identity and their citizenship. You might get a different outcome. I think you probably would. But that's not going to happen. So what happens? Everyone that lives everywhere else, it's a different world. So you have two worlds. You know, it's almost rural versus urban in some ways, reminiscent of what I saw in Bosnia-Herzegovina. But it's worse because the urban areas, they're being emptied of American citizens and replaced by large numbers of recent arrivals, or what I would call the disgruntled minorities that are convinced that they live in a state of perpetual oppression and therefore deserve special privileges.
So Jim Rickards has just recorded a video that's not available to anyone in the public, and he's going to be talking about how this upcoming recession is going to be fast, it's going to be bloody, it's going to be nasty. But at the same time, he's going to show you how you can position yourself to profit from all of this chaos. Now, we've made this video only available to our viewers. Go to londonreal.tv/Jim. Watch that immediately. I can't say enough good things about Jim Rickards. He understands the global economic system better than any guest I've ever had on London Real. His predictions are almost uncannily true, and you can learn how to profit from his vision, from his expertise, and his understanding of economics. So go to londonreal.tv/Jim or click the link below. It's an excellent, excellent look on what's going to happen in the future and how you can position yourself to profit from that. Jim is one of the best in the business, one of my favorite guests on London Real, and he's very, very good at predicting the future and showing us all to profit from it. So click the link, and I hope you enjoy. The greedy bankers are about to do it again. In 2008, they crashed our financial system and nearly bankrupted the entire global economy. Then they received trillions of dollars in government bailouts. And after, they demanded fat bonuses paid for by you, the taxpayer.
It turns out the banks haven't just been screwing the American taxpayers, they're also screwing over their investors. Turns out the banking industry is the worst place you could put your money, despite enormous taxpayer bailouts.
Now the bankers are back to take away your financial freedom. They lie and tell you that cryptocurrency isn't safe. They try to make it illegal for you to choose how to invest your hard-earned money. They lie and say cryptocurrency is used by money launderers and criminals. But look at the record. It's the banks themselves that launder hundreds of billions of dollars every year to the biggest criminal operations in the world.
Leaked documents have revealed how some UK banks have helped criminals, money launderers and Russians under sanctions.
American authorities discovered that the Sinaloa cartel moved $881 million through HSBC accounts as bank officials turned a blind eye to the illegality.
The bankers lie and say cryptocurrency is not a real investment. Meanwhile, the smartest CEOs in the world are buying billions and billions of it. The truth is that banks lie about cryptocurrency because it makes them scared. The banks take $9 trillion per year of your hard-earned money, and they are worried that they will finally be exposed. They're scared because crypto means they can no longer control your money, which means they can no longer control you. They are scared because you might actually understand your money and intelligently decide what to do with it. Now is the time for us to come together, fight back, and take control. It's time to educate ourselves, our families, and our communities. Because financial education means financial freedom. We know that cryptocurrencies will help us build the new decentralized financial system of the future. A banking system that is of the people, by the people, and for the people. A banking system where access to finance is a fundamental human right. A banking system that is free and fair and welcomes all humans on this earth. The DeFi revolution is happening. We, the people, can no longer be fooled. We choose to take control of our finances. We choose to take control of our freedom. We choose to take control of our future. Join us, and let's take back our financial freedom forever.